Yo, what is up, Ballsville? And welcome into the Gauntlet recap. This is our week 12 recap, and we have a lot of news to get to. We're going to speed through the process here and kind of make things quick. But we'll take a second to introduce our co host, as always, Mr. Christopher. How you doing tonight, Chris? How was the weekend for you in fantasy football and the Gauntlet?
Gauntlet especially survived all the ones I was still in, so still have 11 of 12.
All right. And we have the freshly cut Mr. Nick here. How are you? How was your weekend in fantasy football, and how'd you do in the Gauntlet?
Yeah, my weekend was pretty good. The gauntlet I went 2 for 2, which is pretty nice. Yeah, it's funny. One of the leagues I'm in, I'm made it to the final round, and I'm 4-20. Not happy about that record, but I'm happy to still be in contention.
Oh man, a lot of wild stuff has happened in these leagues, guys. I mean, obviously, if you're in them, you see it, the crazy waiver wires, the roster expansion. We've had a lot of dramatics, and it's been a wild and crazy year. But I'm loving it. I don't know. You guys agree there?
Yeah, it's crazy.
All right, so we're going to move on into these segments. Had if you've been here before, you know how the show goes. We do the primetime rewind, but we're going to go ahead and skip that today. Um, we do the good, the bad, the ugly, where we give our takes on some of the weekend's fantasy players and what we saw from the NFL teams. We're going to skip that today. Waiver wire pickups. We are going to skip that today, but we will mention one thing. Uh, we had a little scare because Sleeper likes to pull full jid tricks on us, and it was telling us that these players were going to clear waivers on Tuesday. Well, if you know the leagues, they clear at 6 p.m. EST. So here I was on the West Coast, and I somebody mentioned it, and I go look, and I go, oh, it does say Tuesday, and it's 2:45 my time, so I have about 15 minutes to make a decision on. Holy crap, are these gonna clear 24 hours premature? What do we do? Um, so we talked it out. We moved waivers back later in the day, except for one league, just to see if they were going to clear. Luckily, nothing happened. They didn't clear. They're going to be put back to 3 p.m. Now, tomorrow, they're going to clear. And then for the first time all year, we're going to have open free agency until the kickoff of the morning game on Thursday, on Thanksgiving Day. At that point, waivers will lock. Everything will become automated. It'll be a best ball playoff bracket, and you'll face the person in front of you. You can see them. They're in the other league, and we have the brackets that we're going to get to. Those are all pinned in your league. A lot of exciting stuff going on. Uh, Chris, I mean, you're a manager there? Were you sweating it with me when all these players could have cleared on Tuesday?
Yeah, it was nerve wracking to say the least. I got ahead of myself and started doing some weird stuff, and it looked weird in the chat. But honestly, I was just trying to prevent what was going down. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I'm glad nothing came of it. Hopefully tomorrow everything goes without a hitch.
So speaking of tomorrow, guys, while we have you, tomorrow's going to be a big show. We're going to have a free entry tomorrow. Because we want to draw the attention to everything that goes on. We have so much information to give you. Now that we're past week 12, we got to start looking forward to week 14, where the mini leagues, 40 leagues, wrap up their season and go into their championship face off. We get division winners, we get the champions, the wager winners, big money to be had, $4 entries. We love that game. And then after that, the big game goes through the same process where the season ends, divisional round, championship. By then, we're going to have our finalists for the dynasty leagues, for the redraft leagues. We're talking about 210 leagues that are coming to a head. Lots of fun to be had. But we're here to talk about Gauntlet. Nick, you ready to talk about some of this Gauntlet stuff that went down?
Yeah, I'm very down. It should be enticing.
All right, we'll jump right into it. Um, so if you've been with us so far, we did the redraft portion where we determined your guys' seating. Over here on the left side, we entered teams 1 through 12 based off your record after 8 weeks. We jumped right into these 4 weeks of gauntlet or guillotine, where the bottom scoring team each week got cut. Now, if you look here, placed, not always the bottom teams. We have a number 6 seed right here getting cut, and again in week 11, um, the order collapses, and now you are here, playoffs. So Nick, you mentioned that you're alive in 2 of these. You survived this long, taking a whooping all season, right? You know
Yep.
we're in 20 team, but here you are. You're picking up people off waivers. You're stacking your roster, and it's about to go into best ball. How do you feel about the next stage of this game?
Well, it's everybody knows who's on the Discord. I like memes. It's like that meme of the old Indianapolis Colts coach when he's like playoffs, and my team's sitting at 4-20, and I'm right there. And it'd be cool if I'm in the contention to make some dough. But yeah, speaking of waivers, it was kind of weird. Yeah, one league I had Jackson Dart, and I saw that he was out, so I went to go get Jameis Winston, and I realized he wasn't going to clear until 5 p.m. on Sunday, and that wouldn't have helped me because it was the Giants game was obviously the early slate. So I don't know. It might be something we might consider for next year, hopefully, because if you have to make a late waiver ad or roster change, something like that could bite your team.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. You raise a good point, and we actually had this conversation earlier in the season with a couple of players. So I'll be honest with you. When we started this year, there was 3 minds, and 2 minds that weren't me decided that people need to use their fab, right? You need to use your fab. That's the point of the game. You rely on that fab. By the time we get to this point in the season, everybody should be depleted. That way, everybody has this big old frenzy. It's played out great. The problem is, all Ballsville leagues have open free agency on game day, and I went along with things. We got to the point. I really don't like it either. So I'm glad you said that. You're the 3rd person to say so, and it is definitely something that's going to change next year, along with a whole bunch of other stuff. Because we're revamping this. We're adding some really cool elements that we're doing a test run in our managerial league, and loving the way that plays out. And we're going to incorporate that into this game, new and improved. Simplified, guys. There's no reason for it to be three different legions. Everything doesn't have to be in threes. We can simplify the game, and we really look forward to 2026. What do you think, Chris? You agree with that? We look forward to next year.
Oh yeah, I'm already itching to start research, and I know Nick already said he's already researching for next year, but
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I'm ready to get things going.
Yeah. No, I feel it, man. I feel it. So waivers are important. Todd agrees. Definitely need to open up. Todd, one of our favorites. He's going to be mentioned here a few times. You've been mentioned all season long. That's why we're here, guys. The podcast that you're watching right now, this isn't some, hey, we're gonna be on ESPN. No, we're here to cover the leagues that you're in for the questions like Nick just asked. So stuff like that. If you're in the comments and you have a question, we don't mind answering it. We have answers for everything we assume, and if we don't have an answer, that just means something we overlooked, and we need to do better, which we're always willing to do. So for myself, guys, nobody asked, but I did make it through in my 5 remaining gauntlet leagues. So I started with 7. I'm down to 5. I'm pretty strong in a couple of them, and I still have fab left everywhere. This is the week to spend your fab. You're going to get 1 day of waivers tomorrow at 6 p.m. EST. They're going to clear. And then you're going to have open free agency for the first time all year, and it's going to last up until kickoff, like we said. That's the point where you need to stack your rosters, because as it kicks off, we're going to go through your leagues. We're going to automate it. No more roster moves, best ball format. All that matters is that you beat your opponent that's on this bracket with you. We're going to pull that bracket up, but it is pretty trying for me. I know those 5 leagues, I'm like, all the time. We did have our last round of cuts. Sorry guys, somebody's got to take that axe, right? So the Egyptians, Ethan's not here to represent the Egyptians. He's your manager over there, but we're gonna let our friend Nick here take care of that. Nick, why don't you go ahead and tell us the people that got cut this week?
Yeah, so in short stacks, or in Egyptians, my fellow Seahawks fan, short stack 11, got the guillotine. R.I.P. The Benninators. R.I.P. Porg 1980. See ya. The Benninators again. Man, that stinks. Fantasy Fetish 69. I like I like the name. Sad to see go. But I love to watch you leave. Max Geog. R.I.P. NZ Ranger. See you later. Lynn JM. I'm sure it was a good run. Sorry.
Nice, nice. For Fantasy Fetish, actually, I mean, it's worth a shot, right? He tried to pull the league to see if he can get his players put in because he had acquired them. They're the only players that he could put in. They were the obvious selection. He said that he was at a wedding, and waivers went through, and he got them, but never got a chance to put them on. And I said, tell your people what you sacrificed to be there for them on their special day. So tough luck. These are competitive leagues, guys. These are not like fair weather leagues. We get the best players. Like all the players that we get are people that we try to acquire early in the off season because those are the diehards. Those are the people that want to play the game. They love the game. They're already looking forward to next year. If you need a break, after the NFL, Super Bowl, that's actually when we start the next draft season. So that's when the mini leagues pick up. Moving on to the Greeks, this is Christopher's. Chris, you want to tell us about the cuts here?
Sure. Well, if you think the Benninators getting cut in 2 leagues is bad, well, we've got something for you here. We've got Cheeky Hobson with all 4 of his entries getting deleted or getting eliminated in the final week of the guillotine leg. So 4 times Cheeky Hobson. We've got Soul Stealer. I believe that is
That's
First Lady. We've got Dennington 12, Zacho 18, and SmackDown MJD. Inaugural year, week 12. This is what it's come down to. 4 entries lost, and it takes out the First Lady too.
Yeah, and that is that's pretty rough for Cheeky. And I did go look at his rosters. This wasn't a case of guy got drunk and forgot to set his lineups and stuff like that. This was just bad fortune. I know when I draft, I like to spread out who I'm picking, have a little stock of certain people. Unfortunately, that means like I bypass guys like Puka Nakua. Dumb, right? Chris, what's your strategy? You like to spread it out, or do you like to consolidate the people that you think are going to do good each year?
When I enter a league like this, I like to, especially knowing that guillotine doesn't start until week 9. If I've got a bye week player that's week 9 through 12, I'm only grabbing one that has that bye week, and most of my players will have a bye week before week 9. That's just how I drafted, and it served me well. I didn't have the greatest teams because I sold my good players in half the leagues to Ethan for Fab.
Yep.
And you see what it did for me. I mean, I survived 11 to 12 even by doing that. So, it's just my strategy is just try to survive.
So it's a very particular strategy.
60% of the time, it works every time.
All the time, right?
Yep.
There's a lot of different things that go into account. Like I know a lot of players kept on they were vocal about trying to avoid that week 9 bye, right? So if you're week 9 and your player has a bye, I think it was like the Bucks or something, right? But okay, you have 1 to 12 odds of getting cut. But by the time you get to week 12, now there's only 9 players. You have 1 of 9 odds of getting cut. So where do you want to spend your fab? Is it going to be after week 8 and try to grab those first players? Or is it going to be now after week 12 where some of the rosters that have been picking up these stars now have to drop? And now it's like everybody's fab is depleted. And what are you doing? Nick, what's your strategy this year and how has it played out for you? Do you still have any fab in your leagues or have you been picking up as much as you can until here?
Yeah, I depleted all the fab in my leagues. I'm only in 2 still, and one of them is the 4 and 20, so I kind of just had to go all in, pretty much ASAP. I think the last guy I spent all my fab on was Kyron Williams, but yeah, I'm actually kind of the opposite. I think if you're like struggling to even get to the guillotine round, if somebody like JSN pops up, or like let's say Jamar, if he actually had a good quarterback this year, I know Burrow's coming back, but if those guys come around, I mean, you got to spend accordingly. If you're waiting for somebody to pick up to make some quality fab bids, I know now's the good time to do so, but you're also kind of just like hoping somebody super great is going to hit the fab, like the waiver wire, which they probably will, but at the end of the day, it's all kind of speculation.
Yeah, we actually had one of the higher seeded rosters that got cut this week, and it was by, I think, like less than a point or something. And he had Jamar Chase. I think it was JSN and Saquon Barkley on his roster.
Wow.
And no slouches like Lamar at quarterback. So it was a dominant roster. Bad fortune for the week. Got cut.
Mhm.
Changes the layout of the entire league, right?
Oh,
Now
definitely.
everybody has a better chance. All those players are going to boost whoever gets them. I saw Justin Herbert go for $6 unnoticed because of
Jeez.
bye week and stuff. I mean, that's a powerhouse player right there.
Mhm.
Okay, finally, the Romans. This is actually my favorite god. This is Saturn, the god of time. Really cool. We had Cheeky Hobson with his 5th roster getting cut. Now, he was in all 12 to begin with, but I don't know how many he's in left. We've seen his name a few times here. Poor one for Cheeky. Dead Man Soul, that's our friend Greg. Tackle Box, Todd Barber, TV76, Traitor Clem, Short Stack, and Run the Hurry Up. And NZ Ranger finishing out our 24 cuts. Yeah, we hope you enjoyed the ride, guys. It's been such a phenomenal year. You know, the roster expansion, all these waivers. We didn't know what to expect on such a big scale. We did do a trial run last year. It's what we always do for our games. But this is an official game. It's going to be back in 2026, revamped, much better, much simpler. And we'll see about doing some consolidated payouts and more in-season bonuses and stuff like that. We like winners. Point leaders. Congratulations to this week's highest scorer and our last of the guillotine bonus winners. This is the highest score amongst everybody in the league. And we see once again our friend, Mr. Todd Barber. I told you we'd mention you, Todd. I hope you're still in chat. A nice score of 239 points on the back of Trevor Lawrence, Jahmyr Gibbs, JSN, and this Ram super stack with Matthew Stafford, Puka, Devontae Adams, and Khalil Shakir coming through, right? This almost looks like a best ball roster, you know? So what do you think, man? I mean, Chris, if you're facing this guy, if you're the 8 seed and he's a 1 seed or whatever, what I assume, and you're facing him next year, how do you feel going up against a roster like this?
Where'd he go?
Don't have Chris. Okay. Well, let's move on to that. I'm sure Chris will be back. So the way that we look at these scores, guys, because Sleeper is always changing things, right? We're not able to just go in the league and look at the leaderboard and show the weekly scores. We can see it through commissioner stuff, and we see it through the website where we can organize by week to get our highest scores here. You see Todd Barber again at the top, and right below him, just a few points off, Lynn, and then TNT, C-Bomb, Chiefs Life, Chicken Boy, and then Chiefs Life again, rounding out our top 7. And if you want to go look at your name and see where you're at, you can just go to the Ballsville website, ballsvillegame.com. Click here for any of our games, all 5 of them. You can click here for the tools section, which will have the leaderboards, but the scoreboards are on the front page. And then if you want, check out the Hall of Fame, see last year's winners, what they wagered, what they won. Nick, have you been on this website?
I have. I've gotten kind of deterred because I'm not being mentioned every week on here like I should be. Because I consider myself a little bit of a guru, but I mean, it's all good. But yeah, I think this tool is great, despite my name not being there. It must be some kind of weird glitch or something. But yeah, I think it's a very cool tool to see and how you kind of stack up against the rest of the Ballsville community.
Yeah, speaking of the Ballsville community, we want to thank some of you guys for joining us tonight. We have Zach McClintock. That's a hell of a name, man. I hope you're a cowboy. We have Cyborg, Mr. Cyborg. We need to have this guy back on the pod, dude. I love when he's on the pod. He brings an element that nobody else can do, and I still don't know how he gets such crystal clear vocals. Tennessee Nick, Sarah jumping in, Todd Barber, Jeff Slenku, that's Zoobs. What's up, Zoobs? We have Jerry B saying that he is the one who got Herbert for $6. Yeah, see, guys,
Wow.
we do this for your leagues. This is the fun part when we connect dots here. And we have Chicken Boy giving a shout out to Ethan, who's busy at the moment with big game. Want to say what's up, guys. Thank you all. Make sure that you do check out the website. Welcome back, Chris. Check out the website so you can go see your high scores. And then we promised we were going to keep it short and sweet tonight. We have really cool makeovers coming up for 2026 where this game is going to get a total overhaul, a nice revamp. The big game is going to get all of its pages are going to be nice and beautified and caught up with this theme. The Ballsville universe is here. It's something that we've embraced. And hey, what's up, Joey? Giving you a shout out. The whole goal for our off season is to take what we have now, and instead of trying to blow up and make it big in this industry, we want to take what we have, treat it precious, fine tune it, get all of our writings more concise so that's not like just going on and on about the same stuff, more understandable, and then streamline all that information so it's better delivered. And then we're going to open up the games, fill them up, meet new people, welcome everybody back here, and just have a good time. We're going to keep it short. Nick, do you have anything to say before we get out of here?
No, I mean, I'm glad I found this league. I mean, I joined a league off of Reddit, and somebody posted it in the chat, and I mean the rest is history. I think it's a very cool group of people, some good camaraderie here, and I love it.
Thank you. And honestly, I say this in all reality, you've been nothing but an asset to us. You're active in the chats, you're friendly, you're engaging. Your stuff, your gift game is on point in Discord. Got to give a shout out to that. And you lift, bro, right? You lift.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I hit push day today.
Chris, dude, you're in the thick of it. You're my guy. You get all this stuff done. You help me out so much. We all know I was left stuck with this stuff, and doing the job of three people. So to have you, who understands the game fully, keeps me on my toes, keeps the gears running. I feel safe when I'm at work, knowing that you're on watch and stuff. Tell us what you think about how the game's going this season, how you're doing personally in these leagues, and how it's been, from a managerial standpoint.
Overall, it's been great. Just trying to get my sea legs as far as doing more stuff for the leagues. I hate the need to ask questions because I don't know a lot about like the managerial, like commissioning duty type things. I'd rather just play in one where I don't have to be the last word, and that's great to not have to be the last word on things, and just like implement stuff from higher heads on the line. So that's the good part. That's what I like the most. But yeah, I'm gonna try to be in as many Ballsville leagues as possible again next year.
So I appreciate you saying that. I'll be real with you guys. I don't consider myself like, the president or El Presidente and all that stuff. I know I do run things, but at the beginning of the season, I always make it very clear: commissioner interaction is impossible without a league vote, unless it's something egregious, like, oh, I dropped that guy by accident. Okay, no problem. Boom, stuff like that. I don't interact. I like to put on the player cap and just play the game too. Now, there's been a lot of stuff this year that has forced me to divert my attention over here and do the commissioner stuff. We actually had our first trade reversal in a league this year, in a redraft league. And it luckily went off smooth. Nobody had hurt feelings. These were two guys that were proven to be in leagues only with each other. And their trades in that league were only with each other. And they're obviously one way juicing up another player. Got called out. They didn't deny it. We said, all right, just your trades are locked for the remaining of the year, but you're still welcome to finish out the year. And that was that. And the league agreed to carry on. It's a league by league basis. When that happens, unfortunately, it does take us out of other leagues, and we're not as quick to attend to stuff. And of course, we live in fear of like some mass disaster where we have to put our attention there. But that's why we have managers. That's why we have people like Chris that and hopefully Nick next year who help us out, who are there to assist in case of something like that. And our whole goal is to play this game, have fun, and create big winners, you know. And we saw a lot of that tonight. We have everybody who finished the 8 players that finished each league of the guillotine portion. The season high scorer got $50. And then Todd Barber got the $25 bonus to end the guillotine portion. So lots of fun. The playoffs are right in front of us. Make sure you're attentive when waivers clear so you can scramble for those free agents. That's your plan. Be ready for that. And when we're not forced to do stuff that we want to do, we get to do stuff that we like to do. And then something that I like to do is create intros. And here's a sneak peek at the next Ballsville intro. And we will see you guys next week. Make sure you're here for tomorrow. Peace out, everybody. Thanks for stopping by.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4,